everybody. Let's see if I can get this here. Really? Gotta log in. Good morning. So I made some improvements, moved some cameras around. I got a different stand for my overhead camera, so it's a lot higher. Yeah, you can see some Immortal Men right here. This is the cover to issue 2. Okay, let me do a couple things here. Okay, I have promoted Kairihiko to moderator. So congrats, she accepted my plea for help. What's amazing, I think she lives in Switzerland, so it is probably what, like 7 p.m. at night. So I appreciate you helping out. Okay. Kind of quiet. Okay, I will definitely adjust the volume here. How's that? Is that better? Should be better. I just moved it up. All right, good. The lag's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, there's no spamming the channel for giveaways, please. Although I'm on a different machine, and so I should add that extension. So back here. All right. Just testing this out. No one wins anything. Meet Broham. You wasted a win. Sorry. All right. Okay. I really want to get set up down here. Perfect. Okay. So that's probably a little bit better. Why did it say error? Calling my mom, AFK, calling my mom to tell her I won air from Jimmy. Nice. How's my morning going? It's good. It's good. It's 10 in the morning. Kids jumped in bed at 7. That's our alarm clock every day of the week. All right, hold on a second. Got my iPad here so I can look at the, so I don't have to strain and look all the way over here. How are you guys doing today? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What the heck? Yeah, thanks. You know what? I do need to post up the colors for. Oh, they changed it. I'll just look at the interface for movies on my iPad here. You used to have to go into the movie and remove download. Now you can actually do it from the overall catalog menu here. Alright, that should improve some performance. Get back into Twitch. Veritas, I'm telling you, no matter how much you practice, that kid plays Counter-Strike 24/7. I've seen him like kill 23 people in a row, one shot with a sniper rifle. AWP, it's ridiculous, dude. I'd hate to take your money. I'm all for betting, gambling, whatever, but I do like some fair stakes. It's not about just winning for the sake of winning. It's really about, um, making it a real challenge. Okay. There is a way to send this out via Twitter and Instagram. I'm in one of the machines. I had it set up so I could just send it out that way. But I don't see it. My hangover? Why would I have a hangover? It's weird. I was at, excuse me. I was at dinner with some friends last night, and so just as a goof, I live streamed some Instagram. We're just like yucking it up, as people want to do at dinner, and instantly the comments were like, "Are you drunk? You look tipsy or whatever." I'm like, "No, it's it's the way I normally am when I'm with friends." So no hangovers. Thought I might have J. Scott Campbell over doing some guest broadcasting. No, that guy is way too busy. His time is much too valuable for something like this. Um, Maybe someday. Uh, Wicked Tuna. Oh, come on, Jim. All right, hold on. Are Cubit artboards better than the DC artboards? No, this is just a 3-ply board, so it's extra thick. And I think there was a bad batch where we did have some paper I wasn't crazy about. Actually, that Scott Williams wasn't crazy about that DC had produced. I always kind of joke about, you can tell where the paper's from and what kind of trees and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, paper is produced, and different batches have different qualities. They might not be as cured or whatever, or the varnish might not be as strong. And so sometimes what happens is if you draw on an erase, it basically breaks the the surface of it, and so you get into the fibers, which as a penciler is no big deal, but when you ink it, the ink will kind of bleed. And Scott was kind of complaining that the line work wasn't as crisp as he would like. And so we went through a bunch of different papers. I went to the art store, got Strathmore, really tried all these 3 or 4 different kinds. I contacted my friend Eric Coe at Udon. He has his own paper. Blue line paper, I think, is one you can buy commercially or online. And then I found the Kubert School art boards, and this seemed to really solve the problem. It's Strathmore 400 series. It's really kind of top of the line. But since then, the DC paper The next batch was really good, so I just have a bunch of Kubert School paper that I bought. Gonna go through it and switch back and forth. But really, as long as Scott's happy, I'm fine. I can draw on anything. Okay. Not cutting here either. You know the problem with having an iPad is that it goes right into screensaver mode. For the life of me, for there's auto lock. Let's try never. I don't know if that'll do it. All right. The word out. How do I do that? So just tweet something out. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah, how is the connection? This is off my Mac, and it's actually on. I'm on a Wi-Fi connection. When we game, it's off Ethernet. Okay. All right, put that up. Now on Instagram. What? People are saying I didn't put up scans of the artwork that I drew. Oh yeah, your sketches were not on the ground. That was just a an illusion. I would never put your valuable artwork on the ground. I'll put this one up here. Tracer. Hey Pops. Hey Mason. Mason's in bed with Carla. They're watching TV, vegging out on their iPads. It's Sunday morning. All right, let me take a quick picture of this. Oops. Okay. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow is the end of the Wonder Woman auction on eBay that I did for relief efforts for Hurricane Harvey. Now I feel like I have to do another one for Irma. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm just I should be drawing. Huh? 1 second. Here's one. I gotta put an emoticon to make it seem more pleasant or friendly. Here we go. All right. So I have a couple things I was planning on doing today. There's this, so that's a tracer piece. And this is Widowmaker. You guys enjoying the new setup? It's further up, more centered. This camera's more over here. I've got the text over here. I think it's better. Anyway, so these gaming sketches were done. So basically, if you're new here, Sunday mornings, I'm trying to live sketch, draw, and then all the other sessions are really just us live streaming what we normally would do, which is sort of gaming in the house. We usually try to find video games that the kids are into, and so I'll play some Overwatch with them, or World of Warcraft, or Counter-Strike. Lucas has really gotten into PUBG, or some sort of, I don't know, he was showing me it last night. It looked pretty cool, so probably download that game on Steam and get that started. But then, while they're gaming, because we only have one computer that's set up to stream, although we have multiple cameras so you can watch other people play in a room where we have 4 PCs. Video cards coming in tonight. Hopefully they can plug and play that sucker in. So we'll have 2 screens going at once. But while I'm just sort of sitting there moderating for them, I'll take requests and draw sketches like this. And those are actually pretty lightly attended. And, you know, it's funny, you know, at dinner last night I was talking to Jeff Campbell about this. What's sort of the long game of this? What is the point of all this? At this point I was telling him, you know, sort of losing time and money on all this with all the equipment I've been buying and time invested. And, you know, to me it's I'll have to figure out a way to better, quote, unquote, monetize it. It's definitely an experiment. It's something that I'm really interested in. You know, I was thinking about, you know, if there's a $5 subscription level, what do you get at 10? What do you get at 25? And I think I'm like 25 maybe. I know some of you guys are aspiring artists. Maybe there'd be a session for people where you guys would email your work into an email I would set up just for that group, and it would be sort of a private 1-hour interactive feedback session. I don't know if there'd be interest for something like that. And at the 10, I don't know what you get at the 10. I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe you guys can come up with ideas. All right, we're up to 225, which is weird because the first couple, I think we hit over 300. So maybe that's a sign that this isn't working. Which is, all right, so I'm going to just check this out. And Pity 83, go over here as well. And on Twitter. Hello, what's up? Oh no, I'm good. Yeah, yeah. Huh? What?
Don't want to eat them.
No, they're bringing voodoo donut. I'm not gonna eat and talk but thank you. I already had some. Did you just run up there real quick, or you just ran up there and got the voodoo donuts?
Oh, I postmated it.
Oh, you postmated it. Why would they get in a car and drive somewhere to buy something? Paying exorbitant delivery fees to get it. Thank you anyway, guys. Love you. I am excited for the new Star Trek show, man. I'm a huge Star Trek, mostly the classic series, uh, but I do give each version like a shot, and it looks pretty high budget. Production values look good. Seems like they have a pretty cool storyline. It's not just the general premise of people going out and exploring space, but with different actors and different time periods. They seem to have a pretty, from what I understand, a robust storyline in mind. Voodoo Donuts, they have Voodoo Donuts down here in LA. They have franchised out. Who needs to drive when you got Jim Lee money? I tell you something. That money has quickly been going out the window. Between Postmates, Amazon Prime, and and cell phone bills. You know, I used to sound very old when I say this, but you know, phone bills used to be like $30 a month, and now they're substantially more. So, you know, I'm going to just start. I'm going to work a little on this. I also have this gigantic board over here. I don't know if you can see this. I use it. It's so large I actually will put paper on here and splatter and whatnot. But I'm going to do a piece of art for a friend this big. Can you see this? I'm looking at the screen here. Yeah, anyway, it's large. So, this is what happens when it's a large piece of board. So on this piece, this person requested a lot of Marvel characters, which I'm happy. So maybe I'll start with this, just to kind of warm up. Is it cool to do cross-hatching on? All right. Kim Jong-ji, yes. Kim Jong-ji comes to a lot of the American conventions, San Diego and New York Comic-Con, and yeah, he's Korean, I'm Korean, so we've gone to Korean barbecue several times. So we're gonna actually meet up again, I think, at New York. Like I said before, he doesn't speak English, but super nice guy, super expressive guy. He's a lot of fun to hang out with, regardless. So we get together, and fortunately, we have people that can translate because I don't really speak Korean either, which is very sad. Hashtag sad, for sure. Let's see if this is even showing up. Working with this delay is very interesting. All right, let me stop here. There we go. All right, so there. All the way about here. What do you think of Kim Jong-ji's drawing ability? The guy is a genius, man. The guy is amazing. I've seen him draw live. A, he's super fast, but B, he's got kind of a photo memory. His ability to draw scenery, the details. I mean, I can draw tanks and guns and things like that. I can even try to do something similar. 1 second, I'll be right back. Let's pull the box off pencils. So, but he could draw like animals, like nobody's business, like tigers and birds and monkeys. I mean, it's just crazy. So, let's see if I can warm up and do this here. This is my impersonation of Kim Jong-un. Very poor one. This is no tank in particular. But you know what? What he does is he'll start with a rock here and then jump up here and he sees it all in his head. And like I said, this is no tank in particular, but if you look at lots of tanks, you realize that there are elements to tanks that make them look like tanks. And once you know what those elements are, you can fake a tank. And make it feel like a tank that actually exists. I'm not mocking him. What are you talking about? When he draws it, it actually looks like a real tank. But when I was a kid, I was really into military stuff, particularly World War II, but even the modern age. So I'll get these model kits from Tamiya. I forgot the name of the company. So, well, this is too big for this. This turret should be larger. So I used to build tanks from model kits, paint them up. So how do we make this larger? Huh? Fake it again. some grenade launcher, smoke that on the side here. This could have been a little wider. So like I said, a little rusty. The trick to doing sort of backgrounds, it's a little stream of consciousness. There's something called automatic writing, where you sit down with a blank piece of paper and you just start writing whatever comes to mind. Stream of consciousness. When you draw backgrounds, particularly rocks, rocky terrain, it's very much the same thing. There's no sort of thing that I see in my head. I'm just sort of drawing as it kind of comes off the pen. So it's really a matter of kind of creating craggly lines like this that create texture, but you don't want to do too much of it. And if you do a lot of it like here, you want to leave the areas around it fairly white so you have contrast. And so you're basically creating this kind of rhythm between the lights and the darks. And then, of course, if this were Batman's tank. Ta-da! Who are your mains on Overwatch? Are you asking Mason or are you asking me? I only play one character, it's Roadhog. And very basic in all my video games. Look, I used to game a lot more. You get this reputation as like, oh, you're late because you're gaming all the time. It's not true, or at least not true anymore. In that I really play because my kids are into it. It's something I remember really, really being super passionate about. But when I play, I really kind of admire sort of the thinking that went into the game, the graphics, the concept work, really why it's fun, I guess. So Overwatch is a beautiful game. Counter-Strike's a lot of fun. I would say Counter-Strike's my favorite game right now. But I liked all of the Medal of Honor, Call of Duty type games. Anyway. Parev. Inchka chica. That's all the Armenian menu. Actually, a lot of swear words, but I wouldn't subject you to that. All right, so on this one, Lego Batman is awesome. Patrick. Draw Patrick. Hold on a second. Reference. Okay. You mean from SpongeBob? Inchka chica. All right, so Patrick, I'm looking at reference. He's a blob. He is a starfish. He's like the Thing, but without the rocks. Because the Thing is essentially a starfish shape. This is my first Patrick sketch, so please bear with me here. Oops. So on a character like this, a cartoon character, it's all about the forms, the overall shapes. It's obviously less about the details, the musculature, because there really isn't any, or the cross hatching. So everything's all about getting the right volumes and nailing that one line that defines exactly who this character is. Ren Elephant, do not start rumors like that. Get me in trouble. Alright, let's see. The characters that are very simple, like the Peanuts characters, very hard to draw. And once you get practice, actually when you practice a lot, it gets easier with every go around. So even with Patrick, I'll start with the eyes. And I did reference it, but now at this point I'm just going to just draw it based on what I put down here. Instead of what I saw online. Although I may modify it just a little bit. You know what? NFL football season has started. Should probably watch a game. Just tweaking it just a little bit. Fantasy football, yes, I am part of the league, but I am a silent partner investor Hopefully. Actually, we have Drew Brees on our team. So, go Saints. I will be giving these sketches away because honestly, I don't want them in the house. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Someone gave me these microns. Okay. What's up now? What do I got here? So this is courtesy of our son Mason. The kids here love, all the kids love SpongeBob. I don't have a light pink, so I can actually just take the red marker, do a hatch like that to create. This is a micron, Pigma microns, what I used to ink with. This one's just colored. A Sakura or Sakura. Yes, you are correct, Nemo Traumwelt. Dream World. Nemo Dream World. Yes, anyone can win again, Catalysius. Jim, when we come to Armenia, young guys want to take your experience. We're waiting for you. I was almost going to come to your event because we have some friends that are in a band called System of a Down. And they went there in their last tour, actually the second to last tour. This last tour, they were just in Europe. But they performed there. I watched them on the live stream, though. It was pretty amazing.
Jeez.
Yes?
Did you know that you're at 400 viewers? Like a little bit over it, too.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Mason, come on in, say hello. There's a lot of stuff on the floor.
Oh, what? Where are you even getting your reference from for that?
Right here.
Should have done that one.
Well, I just drew the first one. If you Google Patrick, this is the first thing that shows up. I am not.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. Hey, look at the family emote.
Morning, Lord Mason. Lord and overpowered media. Hello. Oh. Dang.
Right here. Whoa.
Oh. Oh no. Huge
I don't know. Everything works fine until you go live.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh, did you make one for that?
I believe so.
Yep.
Right there, see? That's our family emote.
That's so funny.
Alright, so that's Patrick. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. Neophytes.
Oh. Let's go. Backslash. This guy said, I remember 22 years ago reading X-Men and musing what I'd give for a chance to see how Jim created his images, and that way y'all can see him.
I know, isn't technology? It's crazy. It is. You should get your phone and you could read the...
I'll get my computer.
Even better. There you go. I have now a in-studio moderator to kind of read the messages. You guys are very active today. It's going by faster than I can. You can keep up. Definitely, everyone in Florida, praying for you guys. First thing I did this morning was check the news just because we have some friends that decided to stay in their home in Miami. And thankfully, the storm swung further west, and so now it's on the west side, the west coast of Florida. But all that does is it puts other people in harm's way. So it is pretty crazy what's going on out there, and definitely in my thoughts and prayers. And hopefully the storm will dissipate, as they sometimes do when they hit land. And then just to make it a little bit more my own, I'll add some comic book kind of rendering. Oh, you gotta turn off the sound. Okay. You gotta turn off the sound, Mason. I'll turn it off. Just mute it. Okay.
And did you enjoy the CN Tower Skywalk?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I have video of it, except I gave the USB drive to Scott Snyder, and he's holding the video. He sent me all the pictures, but not the video. I'm like, what's going on?
Art Night Rises says draw a pineapple house in the back.
A pineapple.
In the distance. Why a pineapple though? Draw a, what's it called? Rock.
A rock?
Yeah, because he lives under a rock.
Is it in any of these reference shots?
People, Lord J.O. says, man, please have the tank drawing.
I'm just going to give these away at the end.
Yeah.
I think the tank drawing a little cooler here. Hold on.
We're at 415 viewers, James.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of at before. So when we were at 200, it seemed a little light to me. So I put out the word on Twitter and Instagram. So the thing with like 10 o'clock on Sundays are, the problem is people go out Saturday night and they have a late night. Waking up by 10 is a little tough, and they also have football season going on and stuff like that. So I'll be right back again. Oh, actually, I have something right here.
Yeah.
What? Just wait, let me finish this, all right? Hold on. So I'm going to modify this tank image a bit.
I know when you do this.
All right.
So fancy.
So it's just a board you can see, just random shapes, things I put on it. A drawing of Danger Girl that I started didn't like. So with this, put this here, put this here. Rapidograph ink. This one's kind of had some battleware. This should be mandatory for every DCR so you know they're working. Well, you know, people do. Look, you have to balance work and your personal life. If you just draw all the time, you're not going to be happy. If you're out all the time, you're not going to get work done. So you do have to find the balance, the discipline to balance it. And yeah, discipline yourself, balancing your real life versus your social media time. Anyway, so some ink on there, and we're gonna do some happy explosions. Or is it smoke? Maybe it's smoke.
Maybe it's both.
You know, this morning on Twitter, someone posted up something. Maybe it was Chris Burnham. Some dude was in Korea where he hand painted a handicap parking sign symbol like on the floor, and then other videos of people painting by hands, you know, stop or bus stop. These are street signs on the floor, or the road signs that are painted on the ground. You think they're done with stencils or manufactured and then laid down, but they're actually hand painted with these rollers. Amazing. So it just goes to show you, man, there's art everywhere. Just because it's a sign doesn't mean that it's not. Does it have some creativity or artistic ability behind it? So the thing with this is that as you do more of it, you can control where it is, even though it's just a blob here. And as it gets drier and drier, you can kind of do more smear effects, so it looks like the wind is kind of picking at it. Right?
Need some white out here.
I do need some white out. This tank draw is going to become this full-on day's effort. You can also do it with your finger. All right, what were we going to say before Mason, before I cut you off?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Right.
Jim. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but in first grade, I drew like a really good Batman, and I wanted to show it to you, but then I lost it, and I never found it. I was like, no!
Are you saying that, or is someone online saying
No,
it?
me.
Oh, okay. Oh. What happened? You lost it on the way home?
Well, I think I put it in my desk, but forgot. But then I looked at my desk and it wasn't there. I probably threw it out
Right.
on accident.
What kind of brush is this? This one is a Princeton Art and Brush Company. It's a round. It's a number 4. The numbers refer to the thickness of the brush. This is not a good brush if you look at it. There's bits of, see how with the hairs at the end are kind of, they're splaying out. They should all be one nice pointed sort of tip shape, but I kind of don't treat my brushes well. A lot of times I don't wash them out afterwards, and so they kind of dry, and so hold on a second, I should probably rinse this out so I don't make it worse. What else is out there, Mason? What else?
What kind of brush would you recommend?
What kind of what?
Brush would you recommend?
Oh, well, obviously the one I'm using. All right.
When you draw published work, do you add some secrets or jokes?
Sometimes I'll put people's names. I think in some covers. I'll tell you right now which cover it was. Batman Hush. So if you look at the cover to this issue, which I don't know what it is. There's a cover with Poison Ivy and Catwoman, and they're sort of... No, actually, it's the one where Batman is behind Catwoman. I believe it's... Anyway, Catwoman is kind of entwined in Poison Ivy's rambles. I don't know, leaves. And Batman's sort of like Dracula behind Catwoman with the arms out. And I wanted to incorporate more of the characters that were in the story, but I couldn't figure it out. Didn't want to sort of clutter the cover by drawing in Poison Ivy and Superman in addition to Batman and Catwoman. So I kept it Batman and Catwoman. I think Lex Towers are behind them. And then in the Ivy, if you turn the cover sideways, you can read Poison Ivy in cursive and Superman in cursive on the other side. And so that was kind of my way of incorporating the two characters in that cover, even though I didn't draw them. Yeah.
So this is the question I forgot. They said, how do you warm up before you do a piece?
I usually don't warm up. I just start drawing. And if I start struggling, well, then that's the warm up, right? So, although I'm sure you would benefit from warming up and all that other kind of stuff, but...
We got a new sub.
Hey.
Cowman, sorry.
Great, thanks for subbing. All right, so let's draw something that you guys might, most of you, or more of you would know. 426, all right, so we're back up to kind of where we were before. There's some good books for figure drawing anatomy. Actually, I'm going to put one on Instagram later today. A friend of mine who I reconnected with at Toronto Comic Con, a guy named Dave Ross, wrote a book, and it's published by Penguin Random House. It's pretty cool. He gave me a copy, and I'll pop it online later, but it's worth checking out. There's not a lot of great books, but he's a guy that is a comic book artist, had drawn a bunch of things for Marvel, and he knows what he's talking about. He's actually a professor. He teaches figure drawing, I think, now. All right, so in this piece, I'm going to put this character down here. Right. And then the rest of the Marvel Universe is sort of going to be kind of descending down upon him. So I don't really know who these characters are. Yeah, I know who the characters are. Which, I put out this tweet as something about, like, one of the best things, or what I love about LA is that, when actors try to explain X-Men mythology to me, and I didn't mean that in a mean way. I think some people like sort of the bite to it, but it wasn't the way I wrote it. It was more that I'm amused by it. It's funny, when you spend 30 years of your life working in comics and you see it kind of move from being a niche business to such a big part of pop culture. It's always funny when you meet people that are just coming kind of into it, either from the movies or TV shows or video games, or trying to get work playing one of these characters, and so obviously they're cramming and trying to understand what they're going to play, and there's no way someone's going to understand 30 years of comics history or living that experience, and so it's always it's always a fun conversation. Like, and this character, Legion, is the son of Xavier. Cool. Anyway. And you think about it, all the people that have worked on these books, it's all moving fiction. It's all made up, and you realize it's just the thoughts and the ideas that you come up with become this mythology. It becomes what these people know and love, and it's kind of fun. All right, so obviously these are all different head shapes. I think that's going to be more of an up angle. So I'm going to curve that ground a little bit. And so I'm going to be looking up at this main character. So that thigh gets a little shorter. Look up into that rib cage a little bit more, right? See less of the pecs, all right? Because we're looking at it. If it were this tube shape here, right? If this is the body, and then it's, all right, in perspective like that. See how this band here gets shorter? Because you're seeing just, I can't explain it physically. It just gets shorter. You have to trust me on this, all right? So that length gets shorter.
People are saying your voice is a bit muffled.
Could you position the mic closer? Wow. Yes, I can.
And then Veritas, the one that's wanting to 1v1 me for the 1K for the sketch, they said to draw Crash Bandicoot as a Batman or something.
A what?
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna just focus on what I'm doing right now. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Hold on, let me check the sound here. I don't have. It's just easier for me not to speak too loudly. It feels more natural, and I kind of tend to eat my words a little bit, so apologize for that. Right now I'm using the mic that's on the computer, so let me try.
They're saying your mic is fine. I think just a few people.
Mic is fine.
I think he has his phone.
Yeah, you know, you guys do have your ability to turn up the volume too. All right, fine. I'm gonna go with people telling me that mic is fine, and we will adjust. Good. All right. Because I did tweak that before, and everything seemed to be okay. All right, so this is an upshot of this character, and he's sort of like, oh my gosh. All right. All right, so this is a placeholder. Character's going to be something like that. Okay. And this is going to take me weeks, because obviously it's not professional work in that this is just a gift for a friend, and it'll only see life as a tweet or an Instagram post, but you'll see the process of creating it on this channel, so I'll probably work on it over a period of time. So this is really just kind of walking through how I compose a shot and the very, very beginnings parts of a large piece like this. So we've got the camera, it's like right here, it's looking up, and so the figures, because they're looming over this figure, are going to be bent. So we're going to be kind of looking up into them, but if their face is at a certain angle, it will actually be kind of straight on, even though they're looking down, because the camera's down here, you'll see that face straight on. So not everything's going to be an upshot, that's what I'm trying to say. And I don't think I'm going to put a character right above him, because that's almost too symmetrical and creates this weird line. So right off the bat, I know I need to have one here, and then one here. And this is just like composition that creates like an offset triangle. It's just pretty classic. All right. So, you know, maybe this character would be, for example, Spider-Man. Okay. And so Spider-Man's going to have particular geometry. He's going to have that Gil Kane thing going on with his hands and his wrist. All right. And this is just all very loose, and I can always adjust it and change it. All right.
People are saying you should buy a Blue Yeti. It's a microphone. I've heard of it. It's actually a really good microphone.
Yeah.
But
When I get to like 10,000 subscribers, I'll do that. You know, I bought 6 webcams, a video capture card, this stand. I mean, it's not a lot of money, relative, but absolutely speaking, sorry, but relative to what this is, I don't know. I mean, and actually, this is why I kind of like Twitch is that it's fairly low production value, at least for me. I think once you start getting real lighting and sound, a boom mic and people like kind of running interference behind the scenes to make sure everything's running smoothly, now I need a script, or now I actually have to have not talking points, but sort of a message for the session, and then it sounds like work. Um, when in fact all I'm doing is sort of live streaming what I would just normally do on Sunday morning. Um, so really no muss, no fuss, super easy to do. A sound guy paid by the hour. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe two, just in case that first microphone fails, I'll have a second one. Yeah, maybe, look, these have mics on them, so all I need to do is turn this one on and it'll be fine. I have the mic on over here. It just seemed easier. I could try to switch it over, but let's see what happens. No, I'm not going to mess with it, man. All right, so there's Spider-Man there. You can see that? That's right, we got Mason. I've got 12-year-olds working for me, man. Nothing but the best for you guys.
You get 1% of anything you make.
That's right. Actually, you guys get all of it. All the money goes to Mason and Brittany and Kelsey and everyone else that kind of works on it. I think this is more fun for them, and so it's kind of a family venture. Okay. All right, so that's Spider-Man there. Let's see. Oh, be another good, cool character is maybe it's.
They're telling you to mod me.
To mod you? Yeah, but do you know any mod commands? We have a mod. We have a mod. Is she still here? Hello? Say hello. Say hello.
Oh, no subscriber bonus.
Oh, thanks.
Mason for president.
Jay Kavner, Jim Lee over NFL Sunday ticket. Sure. I have football running right here. It's just muted. No, I'm kidding. Kyra Hiko. No, I can mod him. I'm just goofing. But Kyra, he doesn't know any of the commands, so it would be kind of pointless. But I want to call out Kyra Hiko. We promoted her to be mod of the channel. So thanks for volunteering and doing that. My wife last night was asking, like, well, what do they get out of it? And I'm like, I think they're just being cool and helpful. So she didn't quite understand what this whole phenomenon is.
We also have Lucas, but Lucas doesn't help.
Yeah, he will. He'll get into it once we play that. Once we download PUBG. So we're gonna.
Players Unknown Battleground.
We might play that next gaming session. Well, not. I think Brittany and Kelsey are gonna play Overwatch later today at 3 Pacific time. But then I'm leaving Wednesday to go to a Comic-Con in Poland. I'll be gone for like 9 days or so. But then we'll come back. That'd be kind of cool. I was watching Lucas play the other night, and looked like a lot of fun. It was like kind of free for all. Like it could be solo or it could be duo or up to 4 players on a team, and they're on this gigantic island map, and it's a free for all. So you just basically need to survive and gather things. But the map in which you can play and battle one another constricts over time. It's sort of like the Hunger Games in a way. So it says, 1 minute till the map constricts and you need to be within that area or you die, I think. And so it basically forces the players to start interacting more. So when they're all over the map, they might not run into each other, but they can get equipment and weapons, ammunition, and then as it constricts, now they have the force to essentially fight each other as they have a greater probability of running into each other. And I thought that was pretty cool. Right? I'm explaining it correctly. Any other Europe cons? This year, no. So I have Poland, and then New York Comic Con, And I think that's it. On Sunday of New York Comic Con, I think it's the, what day is that? Yes.
Someone said if you can sell this to him or he can give it to me instead of giving it away.
Right. On the 8th, I'll be at Princeton, New Jersey, doing kind of a live demo talk. So anyway, that's Wolverine here.
Ooh, Bacon Harvester just subscribed.
Oh, thanks, guys. Before, some of you might not have been on, I was talking about what else I could do to expand this at the $10 level. I haven't really figured out what to do, but at that $25 level, I was thinking for some of you guys that wanted maybe some one-on-one art instruction, having a $25 sub only 1 hour session where people email in their work, and then I would just basically talk to you, well, everyone in the group about their individual works and kind of show what they could do to improve it, change it, fix it, whatever. I don't know if that's of interest, but
They said they'd love to see you live stream some Injustice 2.
I don't think that's on PC yet.
What it is?
Let me see. Yep. Right now it's just Xbox One, PS4. Jim, you need a glasses? What does that mean?
Nothing. Oh, someone's birthday this year. Shiro Bear's son. It's their birthday.
Am I squinting? I do need glasses. But as I gotten older, you get farsighted, so I can't see up close now. I used to be nearsighted like a mofo when I was younger. So I actually have to be back like this, and when I get up closer, it becomes blurry. So maybe I'm doing weird things with my eyes. I don't even realize.
So it's Shiro Bear's son. It's their birthday.
Yeah, we played For Honor, and that was a lot of fun. Although I was really horrible at it, but the graphics were amazing, and the way they kind of took 3 different periods of real history and made a new mythology out of it was really cool. And what was that other game, Mason, that we played? It was part of the Ghostlands, right?
What's it called? Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon?
Wildlands.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And that's like kind of an open sandbox.
I learned how to fly.
Procedural missions with sort of military operatives. And yeah, we would just wreck cars and helicopters trying to navigate. It was a lot of fun. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Yep.
COD 3, someone just said that.
Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Wolverine. So that means flyers are going to be at the top, so maybe the Hulk will be here. All right. So he's got these big meatball-sized fists, although they're substantially large. I don't meatballs are not that big. All right, whatever. So I did the fist first, and as long as they're close to the body, that's where the fist can exist. And so to me, it's more important where the fists are, and then I figure out how to connect them back to the body itself. All right, so you kind of work backwards. So here's the torso, shoulder, bicep, forearm, clavicle. Hold on, one sec. Shoulder, bicep, forearm, ribs, pelvis, and because we're looking up, it's going to fold and turn a little bit. So then a lot of times I'll draw that sort of center line down the center of his chest, down the center of his pelvis there. You can't. Roughly, that's the Hulk.
asked if you play any console RPGs or are they time sinks?
No, we have the console games, but when Lucas and Mason really just got into PC gaming, and in fact, I was just a big PC gamer. That's what I preferred. Uh, all the MMOs were PC based, so EverQuest, Ultima Online, Civ 2, way back in the day. I just got used to playing on keyboard and keyboard with mouse. AWSD for movement, and then like I think that next generation of people got into consoles because they were cheaper and more ubiquitous. But look, PCs have stronger, more powerful graphics cards. You're gonna, I think more robust connections. You're not. You can do everything wired rather than through Bluetooth or wireless connections. So if you're into Twitch gaming, like that seemed like the best way to do it. But then all of a sudden, like the next generation, these were the younger artists in the studio. They all want to play console games. But then my kids are like all back into the PC, and like I'm saying, I'm with you. I just waited for it to be kind of back in vogue, and so we basically set up a LAN room of 4 PCs, 2 facing each other, 2 side by side, and so we're just playing there. I play Diablo a little bit. I do like RPG games. That's pretty fast paced, but it probably like a little more slowly paced and a storyline that kind of unfolds. Yeah, what's up?
So someone said, how do you plan black and shadows on pages? Could you show that on these figures?
Well, I start with doing this. Okay, and then I'll worry about, I know in general the lighting's going to be up, and these characters are going to cast shadows on the characters behind them, but I just know that sort of in my head right now. I'll worry about it later. The lighting is kind of at the end, so this is about composition, and just making sure I've got the characters I want in place. So there's Magneto, or Magneto. Right, and so all these guys are essentially in the first layer in terms of closeness to us, and then I'm going to basically push characters in the background so that at the end of the day, there'll be like little characters like this, like the angel, right there. But I'm going to do that last because these guys really kind of fit in between the spaces that are left in a way to create depth and to create as much depth as possible. I don't want to clutter up too much. I don't want to just be a wallpaper of characters. So I have to kind of figure out, I'm thinking that there'll be more down here. And then as we get up here, there'll be more space between the various figures. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
Someone said...
Magneto's off screen, sorry. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, Mason, you got to be on that tip there.
I know, but you were talking, so...
Sorry. If things are off screen, or those kind of comments, just interrupt me, Mason. So,
okay.
Yeah.
This is maybe in the future.
Gatsu. Hey, Jim Lee, watching from Naples. Ciao, Gatsu. ¿Cómo stai? Tutto posto a Napoli? That's all I can say.
Is there a piece of...
Do I know Joe Mad? We used to, we played way too many hours at EverQuest Ultima Online together. So yeah, he was my gateway drug into games. And he was on the East Coast, so we would game till like 3 in the morning Pacific time, and so he was up all night. But yeah, we used to play quite a bit. Those were when I was younger and had the time and energy. What?
They said, is there a piece of your original art that you wish you'd kept and not sold?
Sure. This is hanging on my wall, but this bad boy right here. All right, so you're saying, how can you have this if this is what you regret selling? Actually, this cover was the first cover, X-Men 268, and the way Scott Williams and I, who was the inker on all this stuff, the way we split up the original art, he got 1 out of every 3 covers. Let me put this right there. 1 out of every 3 covers. So this ended up being his cover, and we sold it at our second or third Comic-Con. He sold it for $650. This is a recreation of that cover that was gifted to me by Richard Friend, an amazing artist from Wildstorm. And he painstakingly recreated that cover. So it's amazing. He did an amazing job, down to the gray tone on Black Widow. But anyway, so this cover was sold for $650. It would go for a lot more today. So I regret that he got the cover in the first place, and then secondly that he sold it for $650. But we like to give Scott a hard time about it now. But at the time, $650 seemed like a fortune, especially for our original art.
Oh, just subscribe with the $25 sub.
Oh yeah, who?
M Catalyst one.
M.
Oh, I know that guy.
You know that guy?
Well, I've seen him in the chat.
Right. So for the $25 level, I will set up a sub only, the 25 sub only, where I'll post up a post with an email address. Well, I'll email you guys with the email address where you can send in scans of your work, and then I'll set up a time to kind of go over it in a group with all the other 25 subs. And we can kind of talk about what I'm seeing as kind of common mistakes or oversights in your guys' work, and see if and honestly, if the work is really far away from getting close, I'll just tell you, save your money. I don't know if I can help you, so I will be honest with you. It should be something for people that are relatively close to kind of getting their work to a professional level. So Wolverine, Spider-Man, Magneto, Hulk, Angel. I'm thinking over here, the Thing. The Thing is basically a big star-shaped guy. We established his relative size to Spider-Man by having his big fist behind Spider-Man.
We got a sub with Twitch Prime.
Nice.
And Keeper.
I feel like a street performer. Like how they have that bucket out and people come forward. And, whatever. All right, so this is the Thing. He should probably look broader and squatter, but I think he's there.
Jeez, War306 subscribe, and then right after that, Mars Bar to subscribe.
Cool, thank
Twitch
you guys.
Prime, book me. Jesus.
Well, Twitch Prime is if they pay a flat fees, just like Amazon Prime, I think they then have, I want to say tokens or something that they can apply towards Twitch accounts, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think this month they're running it. It's half off to join. I don't know, something like that. Like I said, I'm just learning more about this whole platform.
Someone asked me a question that said, do your friends always ask for sketches or signatures?
No, they don't. Oh, no, wait. Actually, they do. There's no rhyme or reason to like who I draw sketches for. It just happens, and I wish I could, a lot of it just comes down to sort of motivation, I think, at the end of the day. So, all right, what do we got here? So I got the Thing. Although, that Thing looks like he's straight on, and everything else is looking up, so I'm going to tweak this. Okay. So we're looking more up at him, right? So that's his mouth. So we see more of the neck underneath. All right, and see less of his back. And so more of the bottom part of his pelvis here, more of the bottom part of his thigh. It's a very slight kind of change. And you see more of the forearm because it's in, and more foreshortening of the upper parts of the body.
You got a sub 308 to subscribe with the $5.
Cool. You guys see that? I don't know if that's an improvement. It feels like an improvement to me. I think I still need to tweak it, especially down here. All right. Can someone explain what the 25 thing is? Yeah, so at 25, I'm thinking of having you guys email me your work, and then I would just do a 25 sub only thing. You know, probably a handful of us that would basically in an hour go over the samples you sent in, and I'm just gonna give you feedback. I'd print out the art, and that way I can drop right on it and say like, you need to lengthen this, or you need to work on foreshortening, or perspective, or whatever. Okay, so what do I got here? I have no female characters on here. So where am I gonna put?
Storm. Oh, another $25 sub.
Okay, cool. So I got. Let's see if I can put Storm here. So she is like right behind Wolverine. Sorry.
I was about to say that they said they need Storm with Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow's next.
But they can't really see what you're drawing.
Got it. Okay. All these people with capes, they make it hard to fit in lots of characters. Hold on, I got something in my eye. Okay.
Where your paper's positioned now, you can see it.
Yeah. Okay. So Storm is there. Put Black Widow over here. She's coming in with her stingers.
Oh, we just got someone that gave us 100 bits, I believe.
The Geek Generation. That's cool.
Isn't that $1?
That is like approximately $1. That's cool. Like I said, I feel like I should be singing. All right. No, you definitely would not want me singing. That would crack the screens for sure. All right. So got Black Widow here. And then honestly, if you guys have suggestions of what you want to see other than drawings of Patrick, although, you know, the one thing that I noticed with this Twitch stuff is there's not really people can chat and form. They want to make it very immediate. There's not a place to really post images or have conversation per se. I know that on the updates, I guess people could leave comments, but I found that they really don't, at least not on this one. But maybe that'll change as the number of people increase.
How about a Dr. Doom?
All right. So this is Black Widow here. Dr. Doom would be good. Am I missing other major characters?
Thanks, V has for the set.
Answer questions about the Wildstorm CCG. Honestly, that was such a long time ago. I don't know if I could give you informed answers. I'd hate for you to be disappointed, but he's referring to the Wildstorm collectible card game. It's sort of like Magic the Gathering, but using Wildstorm characters and powers and environments, and that was a lot of fun. I like the idea of... I like games in general, regardless. Strategy games, strategy card games are awesome, so I don't know if I could really give you the answers you're looking for. Well, I could do Ant-Man and the Wasp. Super easy. Here's Ant-Man. Here's the Wasp.
You just draw two little, like...
Okay. Actually, I don't like the fact that they're so next to each other. So I'm thinking... Maybe right there.
What books do you recommend for beginners that wants to follow your path?
Here's the Wasp. Yeah, I'll post that stuff up on Instagram, but George Bridgman's Guide to Life Drawing and this new book by Dave Ross, I would start there. Will Eisner's Sequential guide to drawing something like that, just go to Amazon and put in, or go to your local bookstore, Barnes and Noble, George Bridgman, just how it sounds, Will Eisner, Eisner, Dave Ross, or Ross.
Someone said you should put Stanley somewhere.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, but possibly, yeah. I'd put him like small, making a cameo. What other characters are there? I know that there's more than 8 characters in the Marvel Universe. It's been such a long time, I can't remember.
We're so close to 500 views. We're at 499
Right. I'll put Sue Storm back here. Oh, you know what? She doesn't have to run up. She can go on one of those disc things.
We're disbanding who they want you to draw. It's mainly Iron Man, Deadpool, Spider-Gwen, Captain America.
Okay, that's going to be the Invisible Woman. Oh, Iron Man, that's right. Put Iron Man here. Are we doing the dad? I don't know. That one. Oh, sorry, I'm off frame.
I can tell. It's embellished.
So you can tell them again, I feel more warmed up. The forms are coming faster to me. Structure. Right? No? Yes?
Yeah? What?
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain America. Duh.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon I can put here. Or no, or Groot. Right here. There's Groot.
Are you drawing baby Groot? Oh, you
There's
can't
Groot.
see. You can't see what you drew.
Oh. Here, I'll do it again. There's Groot. I don't know if he gives the horns, but if he doesn't give the horns, I'll just have a fist.
Oh my god, this guy keeps on asking how to sub, but he's not telling me if he's on mobile or.
How to sub? I have no idea. Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe
I do if he's on.
Isn't there a button or something?
Yeah, if he's on his computer, I know how to, but if he's on his mobile, I'm not sure.
Maybe the mod can help you, Kyra.
Are you on mobile?
Captain America, I feel like can't be on the fringe. Okay. Make sure. Right here. Captain America. He's gonna have a shield right there. I don't think I've ever drawn anything like this with so many. Oh no, I take that back. There was an Alpha Flight 75 cover I drew that had a lot of Marvel characters on it.
They said you should change. I mean, probably not. You should. You probably won't. You should change Spidey with Cap and then have Spider-Man swinging. I feel like it's kind of too late.
Yeah, I mean, I could change it, but I'm alright. If anything, I'll move this because they're too similar in terms of pose, and then I can put his hand here. Move this one up so it's higher.
I'm going to be right back.
Alright. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. This is going to be rubble down here. There'll be obviously more characters, and I will continue that next time. We have about 15 minutes left, so going to work on, for those of you that weren't in here before, we're goofing around. I did a Patrick, which is the Joker. We'll give this one away. And then a bat tank of just kind of showing a little bit how to do smoke techniques. So I'm going to do one last sketch here. This will be, the other two are open to whoever. This one will be a subs only. And I think I'm going to draw. Pickle Rick. I have heard Pickle Rick would be fun. Here, let's do Catwoman. So Catwoman, I'm going to kind of tilt her head. That was my Catwoman tilt, in case you missed it. Slightly different. That's her shoulder socket, center line, chest. It's important to do the chest and then, you know, add the details, but you want the basic structure. There. Ear over here. Eyes on that center line. You guys can see that? I'll do it again. I'll do it slower, all right? For Eric. All right, center line. Hair. Eyebrow, okay. The eyes sit inside those sockets there. Nose comes off that center line. Lip, chin. So I'm just kind of drawing half that face, and then the other half is over here, of course. Okay. I've been drawing K. Charles Moore. It looks easy because I've been doing this for. Thank you, Kyra, for noting that. That's cool. Thank you, Kyra. I've been doing this for 30 years, so after 28 years, it gets a lot easier. I don't know. I think you would do anything, whether you're playing the piano or tennis, anything, man. Like, they're able to do things. You watch people that play pool and what they're able to do with shots and make like cue ball jump over and the spins they can do. It's amazing. And so if you just draw for a long period of time, you can do this faster. That's my one trick, I guess. Okay. So this is a classic Darwin Cook costume, which is amazing, I think. Of all the costumes we changed a lot of venerable, iconic characters, for better or worse, of course, depending on your tastes when we did the New 52. But the one character that has kind of survived New 52 and Rebirth and all that is the Catwoman costume that Darwin Cook created back, was it the 2000s? I don't know when he did that run with Ed Brubaker. Late 90s, I can't remember. Jim, you're going to save this, right? Yeah, all the videos are basically archived for better or worse. There's some pretty embarrassing ones where we're spending literally like an hour working out technical issues. Okay. Is that Stettler lead in there? It is. Stettler, I've got a variety of lead stick holders. They basically, all right, it's just a stick of lead. It's nice because it's blunt, and it, you can sharpen it, of course, but when it's blunt like this, it's great for drawing basic shapes because it moves very quickly across the page. Okay, I'm going to start inking. I usually start with the eyebrows. Are the Saints playing right now? Does anyone know? Fariz Mudhafar. Well, there is a chance to win a sketch. I'll tell you that it's impossible to get sketches to everybody, but we do try, or I do try. I prefer. Oh, Saints are playing Monday. I do prefer drawing on paper. So I'm like looking at this going, wow, her lips look kind of small compared to her eyes and nose. Luckily, I'm able to adjust and kind of beef up those lips. Put a little fat in there, fat injections. Kind of beef them up a little bit. Make them larger. Right, so even this, because it's in 3/4 perspective, right, we're not looking at it flat on, we're turning it this way. You're going to see more of this side of her lips than the other side. So from the distance of the middle to here, the middle to the end, you can see how it changes. The middle of the lips to the end over here is a lot longer than the middle to that. It's kind of tucked around that corner because the lips protrude out. Chin. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the eyes. Make them a little bit more almond shaped. Tear duct. A little bit of arch to our eyebrow there. So I'm drawing both directions, meaning I'm drawing as the pen moves this way, and I'm drawing when the pen moves this way. It's hard to see, I think, if you're looking straight over it, but it is faster as you're drawing because you're not wasting time moving back to your starting point. Big loop here. And you can see it's not completely consistent. So I put that down and I know that I can go in and adjust the line so slightly. Add a little shadow underneath here. All right, so now it starts looking more refined. For the purpose of the sketch, I'm just using this Uniball. You can buy this at any drugstore. Who makes this? Uniball, probably. Okay, so then this is the center line. That's where sort of the center of those goggles would be. 5 minutes left. There's one goggle. There's the other. Again, just like here, I kind of approximate shapes. I can fine tune it later. The strap has to come down here. Do double lines here. Gives a little more feeling of being real. And then one ear there, the other ear here, and the top part of the head has to be here, right? I feel like solve this roundness right here a little bit more. Okay. The thing is, I can go fairly loose, sort of carefree in this. It's I don't know if it's leather or vinyl or not vinyl. It's that material. My mind is sort of not fully engaged here. But I know I'm going to go with a dry brush and kind of finish off the textures. Struggles you face when you first start is that everything you draw, you're drawing for the first time. So, every angle of the human form, it's a struggle. You have to learn how to draw a figure from all these different angles and perspectives, and it is. Hold on, fix that. But as you do more and more of it, you feel more and more comfortable with drawing the human form. It gets easier every time you draw that same shot. Okay. Some ink into here. Let's see if I can do this here. I need something to go underneath. Did I screw it up? Perhaps. No. It's all good. Hands of a professional. Well, yes. Do you mask the finer points, detailing, coloring like that? No. That takes a lot of time. And plus I have... Okay. Oh, it's 12. Almost done. I just basically have to fill in the blacks here with this brush. And then I'm going to go in with some white out, clean it up a little bit. A lot, actually. And then we'll sort of give this away. This one turned out kind of nice. Each sketch, even if you've done it 100 times or 1,000 times, they all turn out slightly different. They all have a slightly different personality to them. Okay. So even some of these lines I'm doing here with the brush, because her costume is so shiny, it's almost like they're reflections of things around her. If that makes any sense. Okay. Make sure that. Welcome back, Kyra. You can order. I used to go to Tokyo to buy 4.4 millimeter lead. That was the only place to get it. But I think you can now just go to Amazon and buy it, and that's where I buy it. And that's what I used to pencil with, sort of professionally. And at this point, I didn't like where that center line went, so I'm going to redraw it anyway. Okay. That looks pretty much done there. So I'm going to let it dry for a second. Lee Bermeo is godlike. Definitely. Yeah, Gatsu, I heard you want me to come to Naples Comic Con. You don't need to spam the channel over and over, so thank you. How long does it take to draw one page of Batman? I usually try to do a page in a day, but sometimes it can take two. So I've got this Catwoman sketch. I'll go to a subscriber only, I guess. There's a bat tank. I was just goofing around earlier, just showing kind of drawing stuff from memory. And then Joker Patrick, just as a goof. Oop. Tofu Raid. Alright, it's taking a little too long to dry, so I'm going to take a Kleenex, just fold it in on itself, and basically dab. Some people use hair dryers. I don't know. Okay. Where's my whiteout? Ah, there it is. All right. Good thing I didn't show you my butt crack there. All right. Got two of these. These are Presto. Okay. Whiteout. There you go. You have to be a sub to win, to be eligible to win the Catwoman. Yes. And I think you have to say something in chat past 20 minutes or something like that. So if you guys are for any of the sketches, so please type in just one thing so that it recognizes that you're active and you're here, that you're not a lurker, you're not asleep, you're not a bot. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and erase some of the lines that are kind of distracting or a little too dark. I like some of the lines showing through because it really kind of shows that it's a sketch. It's not intended to be a finished kind of for print image. All right. But what if you are a bot? I don't know. Some mascara, eyeshadow. Figured out the difference between the two. Little details, little details. Okay. First off, I'm going to start cleaning up the stuff that's way just out of bounds. And then I'll do like actual drawing with the whiteout. Right now I'm just kind of fixing things that went way over into areas. So I don't frisk it, I don't mask it off. I mean, you could, I guess. It seems like a lot of extra work, and especially if I know I'm... So even on my originals, like that Batman Hush 15th anniversary cover I did, there's a ton of whiteout on it. I kind of like it. I remember the first time I saw an original, like Bill Sienkiewicz or any of these guys, you would see the whiteout. You would see razor blade marks where they were doing rain and stuff like that. It was just really cool to see the tricks that you can create using pen and ink on board and how that prints and looks like rain or something else entirely different. Okay, and so I like it. The only person that you don't see whiteout on the boards is like Michael Golden. He would actually pencil and ink around the lines when you could easily kind of just dropped in a white line using whiteout, and that's the kind of person he is. So technically precise and amazing. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna do some of the special effects. I'm gonna pull some lines through here to make it actually look like a reflection and not just brush marks. Paper. Pull some thinner bits of hair. White, top part of that ear, some highlights here, the center line, let's go down here, okay. Maybe not that line that much, it goes here more. So I'm going to just fix that line when it dries. Thank you, Kyra. Love it. Come on. It saves me time and effort. Appreciate it. Here, I just kind of clean up the ends of the hair so they're not so blunt. I don't know if this was up here, but time to fix that. Close some of these gaps up here. Okay. When I do these, after I get your info, I am going to dedicate them to people so that they're more personalized and um, people eBay whatever. And these are yours. You're welcome to sell them at some point. But if you don't, if you could just do me a favor and not sell them immediately, I would feel better about it. Okay. All right. So, okay, let's do the bat tank first. All right. Okay. Now, you don't need to type anything in. I've installed this extension. It basically picks a random person. Okay. So this one is going to be for the bat tank. Does anyone know how this works? It's Twitch giveaways. So in the upper left-hand corner it says search ... and then it has a user count, and the user count goes up and it lists all the people. So does it mean that it's drawing from those 125, 129, 129 people, or is it actually 130 now, or is it drawing from all several hundred of you? Does anyone know? Don't know. I wish I could tell you. Yes, it draws from the list. Yes, from the list on the side or from the overall list? No clue. I don't know either. So, but the fact that that keeps going up, okay. All right, here we go. This is for the bet tank. Zach Jansen. Look over here. Zach. Okay, I'll send you a message real quick. Okay, so that's one. The next one is this Patrick as Joker. Okay. Again, it's so weird. Don't know. All right. It says here, letting the chat to finish loading in the tab you came from or just visiting it also helps sometimes. Helps sometimes what? I'm at 76. Maybe I should go back to the one I had before, which was 184. 185. All right, I'm going to go back to this one where I had Zach, because it seemed to have loaded more up. Okay, how do I pick a new winner? Okay, there we go. All right, 189. All right, so this is for the Patrick piece. Good luck, everybody. Oh, it is Superhero Swimmer. Superhero Swimmer, I know that guy. Hey.
What's going on now?
Oh, I'm giving away the sketches.
Sick.
So, Superhero Swimmer.
Who's won? Or what did the superheroes swimmer win?
He won Patrick.
Nice.
Okay. Last one here is the Catwoman. And this is subs only, so how do I do that? To go back here. And then I have to go subs only. So the way it works, the way the filter works, you have to have subscribed within the past hour. So if you just subscribe now, you're eligible for the next one. Sorry, this is I can't switch it to anything less than an hour. So it says there's 54 subs. So I'm going to go with that. Okay? All right, so good luck, everybody.
Eggroll's going to win.
20 and 6.
Dang it, I lied. I'm sorry. I'm at 20 and 6 is going to win. Oh, I called it. See, look at that rig. Rigged it. Rigged it. So what are you doing after this?
What am I doing after this? I'm going to draw and just get some work done. I might go check out some friends that are watching some NFL football.
530 viewers? Jeez.
Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. 3 o'clock, Brittany and Kelsey are going to be playing Overwatch. If you guys like the game, you should check it out. I might be there moderating some of the comments. I won't be sketching, so I just want to let people know.
I'll be there too.
Mason will be there. We'll just be goofing around for a couple hours.
I'll
and then there'll be some more updates. There are a couple days before I head out to Poland, and we'll do something before then, I'm sure. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Bye.
Bye. Oh, we're still here. This is on.
That's awkward. I should really have the button ready to go. All right. Now I'm going to say goodbye. See you guys later. All right. Bye.